You've got to hear what Kurt Angle just said about Logan Paul, because depending on whether or not you're a Logan Paul fan or a hater, you're going to like or just cannot believe that Angle actually thinks this and said this publicly. Now, look, Logan Paul's only had 8 matches in WWE, or roughly around then, depending on when you listen to this video. But just let me know down in the commentary below, is Logan Paul overrated or underrated as a WWE performer? Because after breaking out a few years ago, most notably teaming with The Miz, right, at WrestleMania, then they did a singles program, Logan Paul has mostly been used as a heel, although initially when he first started out, he tried to be a babyface. And look, he's a very polarizing guy. Every Everyone has an opinion about him, whether it's because of wrestling, his boxing career, or his podcast, or his YouTube career, or his prime drink. And I gotta say, that prime drink is pretty good. So when we talk about his wrestling career, it is interesting. He has shared the ring with the who's who. Most notably, his biggest match, in my opinion, was against Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Universal Championship at Crown Jewel in 2022. It's crazy to think that it's been a year now since that match happened. He also shared WrestleMania with Seth Rollins in 2023 at WrestleMania 39. And now he's the United States champion after defeating the legendary Rey Mysterio at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia to win the U.S. championship. And now he's going on with that. So today's topic, Kurt Angle. He was on the True Gordy podcast, and he was talking about Logan Paul, and he actually had a lot to say about Logan Paul. This is what he had to say. At first, I was like, yeah, he's a YouTuber. He's just trying to get fame. But he was producing his winning fights. He was producing winning fights and then going to WWE and showing his athleticism. And I'll stop him right there because I think he has a valid point. Whether or not you like him or not, when he talks trash, he backs it up, right? He backs it up. There's no getting around that. And Angle continued, and then he goes to WWE and shows his athleticism. And it's like, whoa, this kid has it. Why did this kid start out with YouTube writing? This kid, it sells. Be a pro wrestler when he was younger, or just be a pro wrestler. His ability above all of those. And I was watching him, and I was really impressed by his skills and really happy for him. He just won the U.S. title. I think that's a great accomplishment. And then Angle went on and talked about how he actually won the IC title in only his 9th match in WWE, which is very, very impressive. Now, obviously, Angle is one of the GOATs, right? He's one of the best of all time to ever do it. But for Logan to essentially follow in his footsteps, that says something. And so anyway, Angle continued by stating, I'll tell you this. I won the IC title wrestling my 9th match, and so I know the feeling. He's on the level of me and Brock, a la Brock Lesnar. I mean, he really is. And I think if he continues on and he has more experience because he's not quite ready yet, I think if he gets more experience, he's going to be really, really good, and I think he'll end up being a world champion. Well, then when regarding what type of advice he would give Paul, he said this: try not to spread yourself too thin. I know he's got a bunch of stuff going on. His prime drink and wrestling. I don't know if he's still fighting or not. I got the YouTube thing. I don't know if he's still doing that, but it seems like he's all over the place. And that's really good as long as he has a great management team. Try to focus on one or two things to do your best and do those two things. I think that's one thing I would say to Logan. If you love wrestling, focus on it. Make it your first love, make it your first priority, and do what you got to do to become a world champion. And I agree. I think Logan Paul can be a world champion. Obviously, his celebrity influence on the company would no doubt help that decision, but I think he could do it. I really, really do. Let me know down in the commentary below whether or not you agree with Angle's take. Do you think he can be a world champion?